All right, I'm back. I'm settled. The RBZ now has a new home. I've got projects on the shelf, so we have things to do. The house hunt is over. I am now in my new place, man. I actually found this place pretty quickly, but it was still occupied. It was about another week and a half waiting for them to move out, do the maintenance and stuff, and now I moved in, and I'm ready to rock and roll. If you're sitting there scratching your head wondering why I'm here and I'm not in Hawaii anymore, I moved away from Hawaii temporarily. My family is still located in Hawaii. I'm in Texas right now for a year, completing a certification equivalent to like a master's program, and in the end, this will make me eligible for a promotion at work. And instead of leaving the Z in Hawaii just to sit in a garage and do nothing, I brought her with me so I could drive it, enjoy it, work on it, be with it, all the things. As my wife calls it, my side piece. She's freaking crazy. I'll tell you what, I'll do a more in-depth recap and explanation of all the things at the end of this video, so if you want to stick around and get that full talky explanation, we'll do that. In the meantime, we just need to get some work done. So if you remember in the last couple videos, I drove her from LA to Texas, where I'm at now, and during that time we drove through some areas that were over 100 degrees. She ran hot, but she still did amazing. That whole experience caused me to take a time out, have a little bit of self-reflection, and think about what I can do to help her perform a little bit better and run a little bit smoother in this new environment. So those are the things we're going to work on today. This is my new garage setup. Washer and dryer, hello, how are you? Got my little table here, and it's very, very basic because, like I said, right now I'm maintaining 2 households, so I'm not about to go dump a bunch of money into temporary situations. We just gonna make it do, and this just shows that, man, it doesn't matter how elaborate your setup is, you could do these things with just the minimal kind of setup. So we no longer have a parts shelf in the garage. Our parts shelf is this closet here. Let's take a look at what we've got. I brought the brakes, so we're still gonna be doing brakes. Turbos down here that we're gonna rebuild. Suspension and subframe bushing, so at some point I'm gonna see if I can get a second subframe, and we're going to try and rebuild that. But today we're working with this box right here. Now this is something that I've bought since I've been here. If you look at the name right there, that's right. It is a new SPAL fan. Yeah. That's one thing we're gonna do, is switch out the fan. The other thing we're gonna do is, I've got this ducting right here. We're gonna go ahead and start taking advantage of this duct here behind the plate. Now that I'm here, I think I'm gonna go ahead and relocate this plate, take it off, and probably put it just in the dash. And I'm gonna try to run air from here up to the air filters. And I'm also gonna go ahead and build some ducting to have more direct flow from this duct into the oil cooler. I'm gonna go ahead and work to take this front bumper off. And while I do that, some freaking pretty cool things happen, man. So I got contacted by a guy on Instagram, and he told me about this car show that was going down here in El Paso. It was on a Sunday afternoon, and I figured, let me just go and check it out. Really, really small car show, a couple nice cars that were there. I really just wanted to go to meet some people, and some pretty cool things happened. So let's check that out.
So I don't know nothing about nothing, but if I know what I'm seeing of people, freaking Z's breaking necks, breaking necks.
Chuki beat.
Son right there. First place goes to Brian with the 300 ZX.
Hey, Kobe.
Yeah!
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Sure.
Bro. Thanks.
Good job. You deserve it.
Pretty crazy, right? Just going to hang out, meet some people. When I first pulled in, they said, are you entering or are you just spectating? I said, well, I'm just here to hang out and spectate because the flyer I saw didn't have any kind of cost on it. They said, well, if you're spectating, you got to park over here in this parking lot that's made of dirt. And I said, I'm really not too keen on parking in dirt since I just detailed my car and it was going to a good cause. So I paid 20 bucks so I didn't have to park in the dirt, and yeah, the rest was what it was, man. So that was pretty cool. I've got everything taken apart in the front. I've actually taken quite a lot of extra time as well. I just want to clean and polish everything, and everything's looking really good. There's some other things that I just needed to tuck and take care of, stuff that I've been meaning to do for a long time and just never have. So let me show you what I've been working on. So one thing I did was I actually trimmed some of the bumper away, specifically this part here. Right there, that edge there, and that edge right there, because it was rubbing on the pipes on both sides, and it's something that I've always meant to do. Really kind of nervous because I didn't want to take a chance of the paint flaking up, so I just did it, and I think everything's fine. Yeah, I polished up the radiator and the intercooler and the piping, and everything is looking super fly, super clean. I've also gone ahead and done some extra wire tucking here on the rails. So the actual frame rails are way cleaner. No wires on them now, so nice and tucked away, nice and clean. Everything is good to go with that. And also optimize some other stuff. I'm really happy with the way that is. Okay, so the stuff we're working on today is trying to keep this car a little bit cool and help it breathe a little bit better. We're gonna do that by ducting some fresh air near the filters so that it's not just sitting there sucking in engine bay temperatures. I'm also gonna create an actual duct to the oil cooler to help keep that a little bit cooler, and I'm upgrading the fan, which we've already talked about. So the first thing that I want to attempt is to get some more fresh air to the filters. Now you'll see a lot of other Z's and they just have like a ducted nose panel and stuff, and that's great and that's fine if my air filter was right there or if my radiator was right there. But as you can see, guys, a ducted nose panel is not going to do anything for me unless I create some sort of ducting behind it, and I just don't really have the room to be able to do that because the power steering pump is right there. So again, I can't use this area here. It's really going to be of no benefit to me. I can't go down and up to where the piping is because the headlight and the space, there is a little space in here, but you can't get to it because the wiring harness is in the way and the headlight bucket and all that other stuff. So there's just no way to come up through there. So the way that I've developed is roughly the duct is sitting right about here, okay? And we're gonna go this way, over this piping, down through here, in front of the tie down here, under the frame rail. Then it's gonna go straight up, and it's just gonna kind of peekaboo right here where those plugs are, and just kind of blow air into that general vicinity. It's gonna kind of suck because it is gonna be blowing more dust and dirt into the engine bay, but we're gonna get that cool air directly from the outside and into there. As for the duct over here, I'm not using this dryer duct like I am for the intake. I've actually got this sheet of aluminum. I'm gonna make a cardboard model first, and then we're gonna make sure it all fits, that the bumper fits and everything's good with that. And then we're gonna cut out this sheeted aluminum and piece it together and make a nice duct that goes straight from that fog light duct and is completely harnessed in. Now, because I'm gonna need all the space that I need to work on, we're not gonna do the fan just yet, but the old fan is already out. The new fan's up there. We'll talk about those more in depth when we get to them. But right now I'm gonna go ahead and shape and route the ducting for the air. And once I get it kind of in place, we'll go ahead and meet back together because it's gonna be fidgety and that doesn't make for good time lapse. So I'll see you in just a sec. All right, the first duct is in, man, and I am really stoked on the way it looks. It's pretty sweet, dude. I think it's gonna work out really well. Here is the duct. It is put in place. This is totally an estimate, but it should be right about here. Once I fit it, I'll know. But you could see it feeds itself right there, just under the fuse box, over that piping, under the frame rail, and then it's coming out up here, along there, makes its appearance right there, blowing right where it needs to be. It has clearance over the power steering pump. That should be fine. This thing has been zip tied in place, so it's not gonna be blowing around or moving around, all that good stuff. And it's blowing air right there. Now, this is not a boost line. This is not a pressurized line. It doesn't need to be extremely smooth and extremely amazing airflow. It is just a way to move some cool breeze from here into there, because there really is no other way to get air into this front corner unless I was to do some sort of cool modification to the headlight, which honestly, that would be awesome, dude. If I could figure out a way to do that, like maybe the 1999 spec headlights, and just take the fog out and make like an air horn that goes straight in and out the back. That would be sick, man, and turn the brights into the actual headlights. That might be something down the road. That might be something down the road, man. Definitely not gonna buy a full set of 99 Xenons, but the same place where I got my leather, I know they also make the 99 spec like buckets, so where you can modify your regular headlights to make them look like Xenons. That would be pretty sweet. The crazy thing though is that this is glass and it's like a one shot to modify it, so I don't know. But this is gonna work really, really well. Let me get the air filters back in and we'll see how it all flows. Yep, yes indeed, man. Very happy with the end result. So filters are back in place. I went ahead and tilted this one slightly down a little bit, which is not usually what I do, but you could see our tube. Can you see it? Well, our tube's coming up. It's blowing like basically right in that area right there. So it's gonna be great, man. It's gonna come up. This turbo is gonna get it. It's gonna be in this area. The whole point is to bring more ambient temperature into the engine bay, specifically in this area. I would love to do something like you see on the GTRs with the ARC airbox thing that's sitting right here, and it's got a filter element on top, basically that's kind of against the hood. But guys, the biggest difference between the Z and the GTR is in the GTR, there is actually room right here, like up to about here, and then that's when your wheel arch starts. But in the Z, the wheel arch is taking up all the area where the GTR would have the filters and the mass airflow meters and all that other stuff. Man, if we didn't go speed density, I don't know how we would have done it. We would not have been able to fit airflow meters in this area because it is just way too tight. So this is a success. Now it's time to make the template for the other side and get ready to start cutting some metal. But before we do, I'm a hot, sweaty mess. I'm gonna eat some chips, have a little chillax, and then we're gonna get to it. One of the things I failed to do when I was building the speaker boxes was kind of bring you in when I was working on the prototype stuff, the cardboard stuff in particular. I guess I wanted to show you where I'm at with the duct because it's looking pretty good, it's coming along, but man, this is some tedious work. So here it is, man, the cardboard duct. And it is looking pretty good, pretty fine. First I kind of prototyped out the top one and just kind of got a general shape. Then I put the front bumper on and then kind of worked out the shape and where I needed to end up and where the edges were. See, it's kind of scooping upwards, and I just now did the side here. So I got a curve around the horn, and there's just really no other good place to put the horns, which is kind of no bueno. Yeah, man, I'm getting really close, getting the rest of this cardboard worked out. Gonna go ahead and tape up the edges, then I'll put the bumper on again, make sure that it actually fits this square right here. Yeah, she's looking pretty good. All right, we're back, and this is the final form. What I had to eventually do was I had to move it more towards the inside of the car, which created this curve on the inside. I also needed to take more out of the outside here. That's why this curve is on the outside here, because of the blinker light and the wiring and the socket and all that good stuff. So now we're set, now everything's ready, the template is good to go. Now I just need to carefully take this off, make it out of metal, tape it all together, put it back on. This thing is taking shape. Check this dude out, man. Aw, yeah. Just got to work a little bit more on the sealing tape. but it's awesome. All right, let me finish it up. Ducked, goose! Man, these things look great. They ended up really, really awesome. I'm super, super stoked, man. This thing is all boxed out, attached to the oil cooler. In fact, if I shake this, it shakes the oil cooler. I mean, it is super solid, super good to go. Really, really freaking pleased with the way this is. Again, this is all made out of aluminum sheeting and aluminum tape that's like super, super sticky, high strength. I went ahead and took some of the aluminum sheeting and tape, and I also boxed out the end of our actual tubing. So now this will get a better seat on the actual duct itself. So that is all good and all fine. I'll tell you what, man, I've been just jamming out, listening to jams, working on this stuff and just making a huge mess. Wow, I didn't realize how late it was. One thing I did realize is I really have a wife that is pretty amazing and takes care of me, man. Whatever I'm slaving away in the garage and she knows I'm in a rhythm and I'm working at it, she usually hooks it up and makes dinner and has it waiting for me when I'm done working in the garage. And it just kind of gives me all that extra time just to keep nugging it out and then just step right inside and have family time. But living that bachelor life, I mean, boo-hoo, right? You guys aren't sorry for me, but anyway, I need to go make something to eat. It's pretty late at night. I also need to clean some stuff up because there are little shards of the aluminum sheeting here. Time for some reset, time for some dinner, time for some rest and relaxation. Tomorrow, we work on the fan. I explain a little bit more. I'm also going to install some new headlights, and I'll talk about that later. And then the little talky bit if we still have time. So, see you tomorrow. All right, good morning, man. New day, new motivations, new things to get accomplished. Today, we're gonna focus on the fans, get everything buttoned up, and then I also wanna install some new LED headlights. I needed to wait until the time when I was taking the bumper off to remove the old HID ballasts, and this is a perfect time to do that. So yeah, man, we're ready to go. But first, let's knock out this fan, and yeah, before we start, let's talk about the difference between them. So this is the SPAL fan that came with the radiator set that I got. This radiator is a racing radiator. It's a dual pass radiator. It's from C&R Racing. I think it's technically made for something like an outlaw car or a drag car. Really good product. It came with the radiator, the shroud, and the fan, all for about 600 bucks. This is the fan that it came with. It's a 12-inch SPAL fan, 5-blade fan. If I remember right, it's rated at 1610 CFMs, which is pretty phenomenal. Like, that's a lot if you think about the size and just basically anything that's out on the market. I now have this SPAL fan here. It's a 7-blade fan. You can see the fins are slightly different shaped. Motor on it is actually a little bit, is quite a lot larger. The profile on the fan itself is exactly the same. It is a 12-inch fan as well. This one is rated at 1840 CFMs. This is like their ultra high performance. This would be their high, like the ultra high performance. This would be their ultra high performance. It should definitely help out, and the price was really affordable. So it was just like a no-nonsense upgrade, and yeah, I think it's going to be a good addition. The plug is a little bit different on it, which should be, well, we're going to make do with what we got today. Let me toss this thing in, and we'll get it all wired up. Fan is fully installed. Everything is good to go, man. Again, same company, same brand, same everything, same size. So just mounted up to all the existing holes that were already in there. Everything was good to go. Like I said, the plug was different. So rather than hack and slash the harness that I made already for the fan, all I did was depin it and take the plug off, and then just put the wires in there and make sure they're nice and secure and everything like that. Already been working on the headlights. It required me to actually take all this air filter stuff apart, but I guess in HIDs they're ballasts, in LEDs they're igniters, but either way, I mounted them up here. I was able to get in there, get a hole, and then insert a rivet from the outside and rivet that thing in place, plus some double-sided tape, so it is all good and all fine. I already finished that side because, again, the air filters, I had to take all of that apart and put it all back together. These are the ones that I got. I don't know anything about best or whatever. I went with the ones with the fans simply because I was concerned about space with the ones that have the big heat sinks and the, you know, the you know, the things, the fins and whatnot, just having the blow off valve there and then having the filters there. So I just needed to kind of conserve space. Yeah, I'm just gonna get this installed. I think that will be everything. That said, I'm gonna go ahead and get the front bumper back on. But before I do that, there's something that you guys have been wanting me to do for a long, long time. And now it's time to do it. Aw, yeah. That's right, man. Yeah, still wearing Hawaiian plates, but I'm in Texas. I don't have to worry about Hawaiian cops. And yeah, let's just, I don't know, try our luck for a little while. How about that? Oh, snap. Look at that fresh, clean front, man. Woo, look at them headlights. Bro, that's some serious light going on now. Here we go, check this out. There's one duct actually now doing a thing. Again, this is just routing air, so it really doesn't matter that it's not perfect and smooth. Here's the other duct. Aw, yeah, man. Now it's trapping all that cool air goodness and putting it directly on the oil cooler and the clean front. Loving it. Oh, and I can hear the little fans now for the headlights. Let's check that out real quick. Huh, sounds like a computer fan or something. That's cool. Cool beans, man. Removing of the fog lights and putting these ducts in, it was slightly functional, at least on the oil cooler side. Now, everything's like completely functional. Like everything in the front end of this car now has a purpose, which is awesome. Really good, man. Really stoked about that. That is it in a nutshell. A lot of stuff got done, but nothing too extreme, right? And so now let's do a little bit of the talky bit. What is the future, right? What is going on? For one, I never intended TueZday Garage to be a thing that I continued beyond the tutorial of doing the swap. But as I continue to do work on this car, as I continue to do mods on this car, I just want to share, dude. I've always had a love of learning, and I've always had a passion for teaching. I've always felt like it's kind of been a calling in my life. Just sharing this information is just kind of like my way of doing that. I like it. I love it. This is a low stress environment. It's not like I'm trying to make daily vlogs. I'm just trying to put some stuff out, and I just like the process. It's fun, but it can be tedious and, you know, and what have you. If you are enjoying this, subscribe if you're not. Otherwise, just stay tuned. I know the viewership's gone down significantly, but it's all good, man. Also, as you guys know, this channel is not just a car channel. That's gonna tie into my second point. So living here and going to school, I'm maintaining 2 households. I'm paying 2 rents, all the expenses that come with my family, plus all my expenses and all that stuff. I'm maintaining 2 sets of utilities, all those bills, man. And all the money that I used to be able to put into this car, into this project, and into other things, all that money now is paying for me to live here and complete this certification. So, and it's that important because in the long run, it's gonna pay off in my life tremendously, like more than I could possibly even say. So the sacrifice of this 1 year and the money involved in that sacrifice, it's not even gonna compare to the long-term payoff in what it means for me in the grand scheme of my life and my family. I also brought the RBZ here so I could enjoy it, so I could be able to explore the US and to do different things, and just so it didn't sit in a garage in Hawaii for a year doing nothing. Because of that, it is my daily driver, and because of the situation I just described, I can't just go buy a hoopty. That said, whatever I start on a Friday has to be done by Sunday night so that I can drive to school on Monday morning. Like, I can't get super in-depth involved. But there are projects that I'm gonna do that are in-depth and involved. It's just gonna be done off the car, and then when the time comes, bam, they'll get put on the car. One of those things is I wanna do a complete rear subframe refresh. That's the one piece of this car that I haven't touched. I did the front subframe when we had it modded and all that other stuff, so that is all fresh and all good. The rear subframe though, it needs some love. The differential needs some love. So if you guys are in the El Paso, Texas area, I guess Albuquerque, Las Cruces, all that area, maybe even as close as Phoenix, If you guys have a good lead on a non-turbo, I don't think it matters 2+2 or 2-seater, rear subframe, let me know. I want to buy one from a junkyard and just completely rebuild it off to the side, and when the time comes, drop mine and put this one back. Put the new fresh one back on. So that's something I'm going to be doing. I brought with me an old set of turbos. I'm going to rebuild those. Those are for a stock twin turbo Z. Once I rebuild them, I'll probably sell them, so stay tuned for that. I've also got the brakes that we got powder coated. I'm going to do a full rebuild, put those brakes together, and then swap those out. I had a limited amount of space and amount of weight and amount of tools that I was able to ship, and guys, I could have shipped a bunch of pots and pans, but instead I shipped car parts and I shipped projects and I shipped things for me to do and to stay occupied and stay busy. All that said too, again, this is a variety channel. We're probably gonna be mixing in a lot more other stuff like gaming and running because those things are free. They don't cost a lot of money and it is what it is. So if you're not into that, don't watch it. If you are into it, watch it. But TueZday Garage will continue. It may not continue to be every week, but it'll definitely be as often as possible. Right now, technically, I'm still on summer vacation. I got here early before school started so I can get settled and get ready. Once school starts in August, I'm not exactly sure what that's gonna mean for my schedule. I may end up being really busy on the weekends doing papers, so I really don't know. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy the community that we have together. I enjoy the conversations that we have. If you ever have any questions, feel free to reach out and touch me some way, somehow. Stay tuned on Instagram, stay tuned on YouTube. Yeah, just stay tuned in general, man. Gonna continue to have a good time. This is never meant to be a daily vlog, never really meant to be a weekly vlog. I'm gonna do it when I got time to do it, and we're always gonna do something awesome together. I guarantee that. In the meantime, have a great week. Ciao a tutti, and aloha. Bye-bye.